Hey leaders, Tarun Stevenson here for the Tarun Stevenson Leadership Channel, and in this episode we're going to be talking about communicating for connection. Come on, let's get into it. All right, here we go. On this episode, we're going to be talking about communicating for connection. What do I mean by this? I mean, using your words, using your communication to engage people, to connect with them on a meaningful level so that they will actually want to follow you and that they will want to engage with you. So before we get into these ideas or suggestions, go and check out my free goal setting guide. You can get the link in the description below. They'll help you set goals more effectively and achieve everything that you want to achieve this year. All right, so what are the 4 steps to communicating for connection? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is why it's important to connect with people when you communicate. You know, our language and our use of language and our use of communication has to be more than just disseminating information or communicating what we want people to hear or want people to listen to. Communicating has to be about building relationship. The reason why is because people won't take what you're saying seriously or act on it with any kind of conviction if they haven't bought into you as a person and if they don't believe that you care about them. And so you really need to learn to communicate in a way that people will buy into you. They will take seriously what you say. They will want to take action on what you say, and they will want to follow you in the direction that you are leading them. So this is why you need to communicate in a way that is going to engage people positively and want them to follow you in meaningful ways. So here's 4 tips on how you can connect while you're communicating. The first one is this: learn to talk with people, not at people. Now, this is a skill that I had to develop because I tend to be a fairly pragmatic, get down to business type of person. And so a lot of my conversations with people in day to day would often be just straight to the point. Hey, can you do this for me? Or I need this done by this time. And so I would lead with my request rather than leading with an interest in the person. And emails can be like this, text messages can be like this as well. I can tend to be very direct and say, hey, can you do this for me? Have you done this for me? And just talk at the person about what I need. Something that I've had to train myself to do over the years, and I've seen it help me immensely, is learn to lead with an interest in the other person. For you pragmatic types out there, I know chit chat, small talk may be frustrating for you, annoying, counterproductive, but it makes a huge difference when you're trying to engage and connect with the people that you lead. And so lead with an inquiry about, hey, how are you doing? Or were you able to finish that task that you were working on? Inquire about what they're going through or what they're experiencing. Or, hey, are you busy? Do you mind if I talk to you for one moment? Don't assume that everybody drops everything just because you walked in the room. Assume that they have tasks and they have things that they're trying to get done as well. And so lead with a interactive conversation rather than a direct, straight to the point, I'm the one that's talking and you're the one that's listening. If you just take a moment, ask them how they are, how was your weekend, how's your work day going, are you getting your stuff done? Just a small interaction. What it will do is it will invite them into a 2-way conversation, and they will be more willing to listen to and act on the communication that you need to give them. So don't talk at people, talk with people, and you will find that they connect and engage with you a lot better. The second thing is this: get them talking about themselves. What I find is that if you can just take a few minutes to get people talking about themselves in any kind of conversation rather than leading with talking about yourself, this is a very powerful way of building relationship. Now, this is slightly different to what I said in the first point. The first point is just leading with an inquiry about, hey, how you doing? How's your work going? Are you getting your stuff done? That's more a cursory, being polite, being friendly, okay? This one is more when you sit down with people and you're trying to actually build connection. So when you're trying to build connection, what you need to do is ask them about them. You know, how did you go on the weekend? What did you get up to? You know, one of the things I try to do every day when I'm in the office is I take a moment to walk around and greet all of my staff and just pause. I sit down in their office. Hey, how you going? What's been going on with you? How's your family? I inquire about them. I take the time to talk about what's important to them before I get on with the task of the day, or giving them, you know, having a meeting, you know, even starting meetings with just going around the room and saying, hey, tell me about your day. What was good about this week? What were some of your wins? Letting people talk about themselves is a really good way of getting them to engage with you and connect with you. And if you get into a habit of doing this on a daily basis, or whenever you're interacting with your team, you will find that they actually value you for that. Number 3 is this. When you do communicate, don't assume that everybody, 1, understands what you've said, and 2, agrees with what you've said. Take the time to ask for their feedback or their interaction on what you've said. So if you've given a direction, so, okay, did you understand what I was asking you to do? Is there anything I need to clarify? Is there anything that I need to provide you to be able to do this job effectively? That's something I ask my team all the time. Is there any responsibility on me to make sure the job gets done? I also ask for their opinion. So what do you think? Tell me honestly, do you think that that's, you know, have you got any other thoughts that you'd like to add to that? Is there anything that bothers you about that task that we need to talk about? Give them the opportunity to talk. When you give people the opportunity to talk, they won't always say anything. They won't always open up to you. But what you are doing is developing a culture where you communicate to your team that it's safe to disagree, it's safe to have an opinion, and it's safe to give you feedback. And that's really important. If your team feels safe to give you feedback and safe to disagree, they will actually be more open with you, more transparent, and more willing to go along with what you're asking them to do. The 4th thing for communicating with connection is this. Ask lots of questions. If somebody is talking to you about what they're engaged with or what they're having trouble with, don't be too quick to respond. Don't be too quick to just jump in with a answer, but ask lots of questions. Try to understand what they're going through. Try to understand the motivation behind what they're saying or what they're doing. Try to understand the things that may be causing them frustration or causing them difficulty. If you can take the time to ask questions, you'll actually show them that you care about them. You show them that you care about what they're going through, and you will find that they are more engaged and more connected to you through that process. So that's 4 ways that you can communicate for connection. Really important when you're leading to actually take the time to connect relationally with your people, because they are more likely to be open, transparent, and connect and engage with you as well. So I hope you found that helpful. If you'd like to dig deeper on this and many other topics in leadership, why don't you check out our course, Leading for Success. You can check out the link below in the description. And we'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy our content, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our episodes, and also share it with somebody that you think is going to find this valuable. Until next time, I'm Tarun Stevenson for the Tarun Stevenson Leadership Channel. Lead well, and I'll talk to you next week.